What's up, guys? This is Logan from NoleGameday.com. Hope everybody's having a great start to the week. Right now, we got kind of a more breaking news kind of video here. Travis Hunter, Florida State's big-time 5-star commit, has now been announced as the number one player in the 2022 class. I think a lot of people, and definitely Florida State fans, have been waiting for this to happen, but it kind of comes in more of a interesting scenario here. So if you guys haven't caught up on a little bit of the news regarding the top quarterback in the 2022 class, Quinn Ewers, who was committed to Ohio State, he is now leaving to go immediately. He's going to skip his final season of high school eligibility, and he's going to enroll a year earlier at Ohio State from multiple reports. It's pretty interesting to see how this is kind of going to unfold for a lot of high school kids and going up like that, the talent that even a guy like Travis Hunter has, and that'll be a conversation we'll talk about on the podcast coming up this week. But that now makes it to where he is no longer in the 2022 class per 247 Sports, and right below him, Travis Hunter moves up to number one. He now is the best player in the 2022 class. It's pretty interesting. I'll pull up a few things on here regarding this whole situation, but this is a kid that is absolutely ridiculously talented. He's going to come in being, almost a mix of everything. You got the talent at wide receiver, you got the talent at DB. He comes in as the highest rated cornerback ever in history of recruiting, at least from 247 Sports, ever recorded. This is just it's a generational talent, but this is just the mega monster of them all, and he can play both sides of the ball. But this guy, probably the biggest thing here is that he's a guy that's sticking with Florida State no matter what. He's been a huge, big time recruiting tool for Mike Norvell and that Florida State offense / defense too. He's working on both sides over there, and he's there for whenever these visits are happening. Whenever Florida State's having a big recruiting weekend, he is there for numerous days. Whenever Florida State was actually having, whenever the locks came off and the NCAA was allowing recruiting to get back to normal, and they're able to go visit the campus. As we know, Florida State ran a midnight madness, as they called it, and Mike Norvell opened up the doors at 12:01. Travis Hunter was there the entire time. Almost felt like a week there that he was there helping recruit and helping out the staff. He's been there a few times since, most recently competing a little bit at the last visit with Florida State and showing out. But going back at the talent here, it kind of just does itself. Looking at it here, ranked as now the number one, the best football player in the country, the 2022 class. I think it actually is going to get even better for him. I wouldn't be shocked if this could move up to a 8 right here at the end of it. He's still got a full year ahead of him. He's had a fantastic summer. We'll look into a little bit here of I like looking at some highlights of Travis Hunter. I think every Florida State fan would agree with me here, but the ridiculous talent, he's facing guys on 7-on-7s continuously all throughout the summer and exploding and just making really talented players that he's facing off against look not so great. But he is facing really good talent. He's here in the AT&T Stadium. This is whenever he was competing under Cam Newton's 7-on-7 team here, catching the ball. Pretty simple, pretty easy stuff for him. It's just another day at the office for Travis Hunter. Here he is once again, just kind of balling. And this is going to be the conversation. Which side of the ball does he play? He said in a few interviews, I believe with BMAC, saying that he's going to focus on defense first, and that's what Florida State wants him. But it's going to be hard to kind of keep him off of offense. I think you'll see him have some limited snaps in games when he comes to FSU. We'll see if that changes. But it kind of gets to the point where why wouldn't you want to use a Ferrari? If you got a couple times, if you want to make it a threat. I think he just bopped the ball on this kid's head. Yep, he sure did. Yeah, he sure did. I absolutely love it. I can do this all day long, although the picture quality here is messing up for me. And he's bopping it on his head now. Let's see at this quality. Here we go. D-ball. Now, this is what he was doing. That's ridiculous. This is what he was doing the entire summer. You're getting highlight clips of this. Stupid talent. Nate on our podcast has been high on him for about a year and a half, 2 years now. Says that he thinks he's the best player in the last 3 to 4 classes overall. He might not be wrong. I mean, it's just kind of just his athleticism, his eagerness to compete is one of the biggest things. And, he came into FSU, like I mentioned earlier, and was there working with 7-on-7s, playing, competing 1-on-1s. His speed, agility, moves, eyes, ball awareness is special. So, Mike Norvell is going to be happy. This is something that you can use as a tool to bring on some other guys in that class, saying you do have the number one, the best player and that 2022 class coming to FSU. I think he's got the respect across the country, most certainly. But, now that it's official, Florida State has the best player in the 2022 class. It might not just be the 2022 class. It might be the best one we've seen in the last couple of years overall. This is a special talent with Travis Hunter coming to Florida State.